welcome to Knights of Lorcana Week 1. My name is JunkRatt, and I'm going to be your guide today on this incredible match between myself and Alstorian. Alstorian was running a Ruby Amethyst deck that heavied on removal and aggression, which isn't something we normally see from this style of deck. And I was running a Amethyst Emerald deck, which I was using to predominantly quest early to apply pressure. These decks clashed interestingly, and I will show you right now with match 1. Welcome back. This is the first match between JunkRatt and Alstorian. Right now they're just finishing up their mulligans. Look at that impressive. I love that Robin Hood playmat that Alstorian has. And I mean, you can't go wrong with the Elsa either. And let's see, they're just finishing up some shuffling. JunkRatt, I mulliganed for 3. He mulliganed for 4. Let's see, just doing some half cut, and then this is when we can kick it off. Let's see, looks like Alstorian's going first. Inks a snake, passes. That's something I wasn't really expecting. Especially from playing a lot of Ruby decks against a lot of Ruby Amethyst. I'm not used to not having a turn 1, you know? And then I, of course, put Chernobog down, you know? I was really paranoid about the Sisu coming down, you know? The Sisu that when they drop it, its attack goes up by how many cards I have in hand, or you, the player, have in hand. It's super deadly, and Alstorian just inking and not be able to do anything hurt him a lot. I was really just hoping to be able to quest as much as possible. You know, I'm not going to get rid of the Chernobog yet, because of the fact that I don't really have to. He doesn't have anything out. I'm not really risking anything by not just gaining a lore. And you see that once he plays that Sisu. I'm worried about what's in my hand. I'm just looking to dump as much as possible out right now. You know, when you see that Sisu, it normally is either going to be followed or just around a Flynn Rider, which I don't really want to have to deal with him gaining 3 lore every turn. There, I'm just resetting that. We're going to ink the Go-Go Tamago. Quest for 1. We'll get rid of it. We'll draw our card. Up to 2 lore. I think this is really where things get a little abnormal. I think I had a lot of 1-drops in my hand at the time. I was thinking, that Sisu's down, that's really scary. Let me unload as much as possible. So this Sisu can't do much. Let's see. Oh, I played a whole 3 for a crab. Oh, I got my 2 there. The bonsai. Of course, whatever I did with crab didn't really matter. I wasn't attacking anything, and I was using that to show that I had 5 in hand, so that he knew his Sisu had 6 attack. Let's see. Can Alstorian finally put something down? Or I guess the Sisu was finally putting something down, but him just questing for 2 kind of gave me a breath of relief, and then I saw the fox go down. Trading with the bonsai kind of sucked, I'm not gonna lie. But now I knew the Sisu was coming down next turn. I think this is where I had a lot of 1-drops in hand. I think I dropped down 4 1-drops this turn. You know, I'm really scared of that Flynn Rider. Some PTSD with that. No, I played Goat this turn, huh? Yeah, I was really just trying to gain that lore and make sure I had something high attack out to deal with the Flynn and singing Friends. I did flash the screen. I did not mean to do that. Apparently he didn't see it, which was great. Loved it. That is actually really nice. But in a game where I'm scared of Sisu, maybe I shouldn't have Friends on the other side, knowing that Sisu would come down. But also, when you put Sisu down, you do have to wait for it to dry. See, that's where it comes down. That's where I'm starting to get scared. You know, when I see this, I'm thinking I gotta get everything out of my hand right now. This is where I have all my 1-drops. One Curse Mirror Folk. There's my Fred going down. We have a Chernabog going down. We have another Chernabog going down. Then I left with 1 card in hand. I quested for my 2. So now that Sisu only has 2 attack, so Flynn was not triggering. That's... I was really scared of that. That was the phenomenal. I think this kind of hurt me here. If he doesn't have the Medusa, this goes a lot differently. Because that 2 from the Curse Mirror Focus, scary. I think here, what I should, in retrospect, I should have taken out Sisu with my goat. I'm only really going to get 1 from that, so why even bother? You know, and I was scared of gaining cards still, you know. But I was also not worried about that because of the hideaway. I love playing to stop things like that Sisu. And this is where I'm deciding, you know, do I ink it? What do I do? Excuse me. There's my quest for the drop in the Chernobogs. So Fred's pretty interesting. I really like him. He allows me to, whenever he is challenged, I gain 2 lore. So most of the time I just I get a good 3 lore out of him by doing 1 quest. He normally gets targeted. Wham bam, he's dead. Medusa killing the crab there confused me at first. This was pretty cool. This was a pretty nice move. I liked it. Playing the genie, you know, Medusa's coming down next turn. You know, let's see. So yeah, so the genie you could draw a card. See, I wish I would have seen that, because if I'm correct, Hideaway was still going, so I should have. I think Hideaway was still going. I might be a turn late. If so, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's interesting. Me playing a genie of my own to draw a card. It is a 2/4 evasive, strongest card in the game right now for Amethyst. I would say at least would probably be that. The Ursula, I knew he probably wasn't singing any songs, but I kind of just want to see what he had, you know. I was kind of just intrigued, I guess. Trying to figure out what to do here. Probably should have taken that out. Probably should have done the Chernobog. The Genie, like I should have just known. Genie, yep. Medusa, I mean it's great to have it take out the Genie. That's a really nice move. What I failed to think about here was the fact that Medusa was now triggering Flynn. You know, it's a 4. I should have actively tried to draw. And so right here, what I was really looking for was I was hoping for a Go-Go Tamago, because that would have changed everything. I mean, if I draw Go-Go right here, and I mean I drop that for 4, that's 2 for the Go-Go, and then 2 more for that. That's 3 lore. I would be I'd be at 18 right now, you know. And that's the interesting thing about Lorcana, is sometimes you get that draw and sometimes you don't. I've noticed a lot of times. I think I used up all my luck in the match before. I am playing 8 proxies, as allowed by Knights of Lorcana. I made sure to use exactly 8 because I wanted to try out a couple new cards and thought it'd be pretty cool to do so. I plan to use different decks and styles and games more often to kind of keep people on their feet. See, right now I'm thinking, yeah, I don't want the Genie to quest. Maybe I should have just quested the Ursula, you know? I think in retrospect, yeah. Yeah. Um, Excuse me. The brawl also came in. Worst moment. Worst moment possible. You know? I mean, at this point, I think he just quests. Like, besides Genie. I was interested that the followers were involved in that, you know? So, at this point, I'm just sitting on crabs. I'm top decking. This isn't going very well. If you know this deck at all, you don't top deck. At this point, I'm just drawing relentlessly, hoping for that Go-Go Tamago. And then this is the turn where I think things are really turning around. I'm like, look, we got things out on the board. You know, Flynn's gonna trigger, but who cares? They only got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know, they only gotten. You know, and then he was, you pick one to kill. Damn, like nothing. Nothing was really going. And no. This is where I'm sitting there like, come on. If I get the Go-Go right now, I win. I did not in fact get the Go-Go. Right now I'm trying to think, do I kill anything? I think maybe earlier if I use that Ursula to trade with the Sisu. Maybe this goes a little bit different. I mean, he's too short, so I don't... There's been 2 turns where he's quested with that Sisu, so, you know, maybe... It's just... It's so hard late game for this deck. Especially trying to... Yeah, it's just, there's nothing going on. Then I think this is where I call GG. When I say I'll pass. Quests out. That was the time I got Go-Go. Had I got Go-Go on that rabbit turd, I would have won.
I was.
Yeah, so match 1, a little bit close. I'll see you back for match 2.
When I didn't have a play till turn 4.
Sorry, I'm just waiting for like good time to start. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to match 2 of JunkRatt vs. Alstorian. Right now we're just finishing up the mulligans, trying to get ready for the second match. This time I was going first. And you can see the difference that made. Definitely made a difference being able to draw, or not draw, sorry, be 1 ink ahead of Ruby. You know, and again, I same turn, you know, I think this time he's a little bit more aggressive early game, which sucks. I can't get the 2 from the Chernobog. Him brooming hurt, you know, it sucked. You'll see where I get surprised. Right now I'm trying to figure out what to ink. There's so many great cards where it's like, okay, well, if I ink this now, will it be useful later? And so I ink one of my proxy Ursula Deceivers, which works great with my shift of Ursula Sea Witch Queen. I get to shift that for 5, which is great. And for 2, I think I'm going to play the Bonsai again. I think that's the play I went with. Let's see. Yeah. With brooms, it can get a little tricky. You know, do 2 went down from my Merlin Squirrel, but you haven't seen that one before. It allows me to take the top card from my deck, look to see if I want to put it on the bottom or the top. You know, maybe try to get rid of a couple not as good cards. I get to do that when he enters and exits. I do not think I trigger it when it exits, which does kind of suck. Excuse me. And then I instantly get rid of. Maybe I shouldn't have, you know. Maybe not. Keeps him from drawing. He has to allow me to quest for 2. Yeah, seeing the snake. I was surprised that he wanted a snake instead of playing something to get rid of that broom. Which, if you have some good 3 and 4 inks, maybe it's better to ink that broom early than to try to draw with it. Right now, it's just the same story. Trying to figure out there's so many good cards to ink, but there's so many bad cards to ink, and it changes with each and every the game plan has to be different every single time. This is where you see a more. Like I said, at this point I was kind of just questing with everything at this point, whenever I could. Just everything quests. And then the snake killing a Merlin. That pits 2 on top of snake. I don't know. It's not a bad trade. I definitely would recommend, if you ever have the ability for that trade, to do that trade. Now there I am trying to figure out, do I get rid of or do I attack the fox for the draw? No, I'd rather just get the, that for it. We're gonna get rid of the rabbit, draw a card, and we'll pass. Something I don't like about this deck is about how small ink or small questing they are. I think I'm going to build a Amethyst Amber deck. So I guess Amethyst is okay to say, I guess. So trading for the Fred, I thought makes sense, I got 2 lore. Whenever Fred is challenged, he does gain 2 lore. And then the Diablo allows me to draw a card whenever banished. Let's see. I have 4, so I can play 5 ink stuff like Bell Accomplished Mystic. I have Elsa the Fifth Spirit in there. I have a Ward Goofy, which is great. That ends up being an issue of mine later. As I forget how Ward works. Sorry, I got something stuck in my throat. And here I am just trying to figure out what do I want to do for this play. Clearly he's really good at trying to keep this board nice and clean. For 3, so I had to play Hypnotize to get him to discard something. It also allows me to draw a card. Then I play the Go-Go Tamago. That felt really nice to get rid of, But it also felt like that was just him getting rid of a card, It felt like, be prepared, yeah, I'm getting rid of it, but it's not really helping me to get rid of. The rabbit singing friends. Yeah, to be fair, I wasn't doing a very good job of. See, and it's like if I play Go-Go 1 turn later, then I get 2. Yeah, like when the brawl comes down, getting rid of the Go-Go, Diablo of his own, and he inks a goat. I will say I don't know what that lore is for. I did not catch that. No, he changed. Never mind, he did not change the lore. The lore was from earlier, from the room. My bad. There goes that Goofy I was talking about. The 3 questing Goofy. Love it so much. And here's where this next turn I was thinking about trying to get rid of that Sisu. The Sisu's just gonna quest here most likely. That's what I'm expecting, you know? Second I saw that, I was really scared that there was gonna be a Meta Medusa thrown at me. And this is where I kind of panic, because all that early game lore I grabbed, he just suppressed me. Or not suppressed me, but he's getting close to suppressing me. Kind of throws me into a panic mode for a deck that should be out questing. I'm not doing a good job of the questing or the lore getting, me putting that bell down. I think I move it to the Diablo just to get rid of it. Which, I'm thinking about it, probably wasn't the best idea. I'm just saying. Bell gets ward. This is where I think it's a little bit tricky. You know. It's like, I don't know. That seems a little interesting to me. It seems a little, I don't know. I think that's ward. Like, I get it, he's not chosen, but because it's mine. Because it's mine, it should be allowed to, okay. And of course, because it's shifted in, it can still attack or quest out this turn. Just how he quests for 8 or 2/8 this turn, which really scares me because Sisu's an issue to this board. I mean, this is where I panic and get rid of this Sisu. Which, now thinking back, if I get rid of it a little bit earlier, I never have to deal with losing that Goofy. And he might not even have a response for it, you know? This is where I think I overthought something. I'm sitting with 2 crabs in hand. I only play 1 though, which is like, I might as well just get rid of, I might as well just put both down, try to add some depth, make it look a little bit better. In my head, I'm going, okay, I'm going to play another crab next turn so I can get rid of Rabbit. No, I should have just got rid of that second crab and put it down. Because now not Lady Tremaine. I think it's Madame Medusa comes down. Oh no, it was Tremaine. Okay. See, I would have had 1. I mean, at this point, I'm kind of just setting into the realization of I'm not gonna. Yeah, Tremaine's just never gonna. This is a special metamim. Or was that a special metamim? No, it wasn't. Okay. That's just normal snake metamim. You'll see in a second. Yeah, that Fred. Putting in all the heavy lifting there. And there goes the crab. Like, I should have just pinned it down in the first place. I would have been questing with him this turn, you know? That would have been an 11, putting down that Fred. Knowing Lady Tremaine's still coming in, but I would have...
Which one dies?
And it's gonna be the crab. I forgot it was Hades. But now, realization setting in. He has 16. So many ways. There's no way to really stop this at this point. That's all I had. All I had was Snake. Pass it over. He quests out. I lost. It's a really aggro deck. I like it. I think it's really interesting. It was my first time I'd ever seen the Flynn Rider not be the main component of it. So, yeah. I thought that was super interesting. Once again, congrats to Alstorian. And I am JunkRatt. I just got crushed by Ruby Amethyst, which I do think was interesting, playing the more aggro. I'm going to get rid of everything instead of the... we're going to throw Flynn Rider out there, and we'll see what happens. I'm happy to have been a part of this. Thank you guys so much. Have a good rest of your night. And this is JunkRatt signing off from Knights of Lorcana Week 1.